I want to create a balance today between two doctrines that have been spreading everywhere that people use the Bible to support in Christianity: the prosperity gospel and the poverty gospel. But first of all, I want us to address what the prosperity gospel is. Is this false idea where people propagate that you must be rich before you are truly serving God. God wants everybody to be rich. And then the people that push this doctrine, they run a Ponzi scheme by making their members give money to them to prosper, instead of telling their members to use wisdom and work with their hands in order to get money. And instead of teaching their members to truly give from a place of love, they want to turn God into a vending machine. They are just fooling themselves. And then there's the poverty gospel. People that use Jesus' words out of context. Jesus said that it is harder for a rich man to enter into heaven than a camel to enter into the eyes of a needle. So they use it to propagate that every rich person is going to hell. They use the parable of the rich man and Lazarus to try and say that, oh, every rich man is going to perish and things like that. And then they say that money is the root of all evil. No, the love of money is the root of all evil. And to break things down, let me go a little bit and break down their arguments with those parables. When you look at the rich man and Lazarus, Jesus said that the rich man, at his gate, Lazarus was there every day. And when they both died, the rich man was in hell. He was not in hell because he was rich. He was in hell because he refused to help Lazarus. He was a wicked man. Do you remember what Jesus said when he said that when you help the poor, you are helping me? When he said that, he looked to the right and he saw the sheep, and he looked to the left and he saw the goat, and he said, you that are blessed of my Father, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I had no clothes, you gave me clothes. When I was in prison, you visited me. And all these other things. When I was sick, you visited me, and all these kind of things. Jesus made it clear that when you help the poor, it is as though you are doing it for God, because every man is made in the image of God. That rich man had no love in his heart. That is why he went to hell. If it was about riches, Abraham would not have been in heaven, because the Bible said in that parable that when the rich man looked up, he saw Abraham and Lazarus in heaven. Abraham was also a rich man. If it was about riches, Abraham would have also been in hell. So it cannot be because of hellfire. And they used the rich young ruler because it was the rich young ruler that Jesus told. Actually, it was because of the rich young ruler that Jesus said that it is easier for a camel to enter into the eyes of a needle than for a rich man to enter into heaven. Let me explain that parable. Now. A man came to Jesus and he said, "Good teacher, what can I do to be saved?" Jesus now said, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but God alone." What Jesus was trying to say is that every man needs the help of God to do the right thing. So then Jesus now began to tell the man that you have to keep the commandments, you have to do this, you have to do that. And instead of the man to say, okay, thank you, and then go and begin to ask for God's help to do these things, the man now began to say that since I was a boy, I have been doing these things. He was trying to prove Jesus wrong, because Jesus just said before he talked that no man is good but God alone. But the man was trying to make himself look good. So Jesus now told him that he should go and sell all his property and give it to the poor and come and follow him. Jesus knew that he wasn't going to do it, but he said it to prove a point. Because when Jesus said that it is harder for a rich man to enter into heaven than for a camel to enter into the eyes of a needle, the disciples understood what he said. That is why they now asked, who then can be saved? The disciples did not start clapping and saying, thank God we are poor. No, they said, who then can be saved? Then Jesus now said, what is impossible with man is possible with God. Wealth is not a bad thing. In fact, being rich is a good thing if you have God in your life. When Jesus told the parable about that rich man that had a large harvest, this is what the rich man now said. The rich man now said, my soul, have rest. You are rich. Build a big barn and keep all your harvest inside. And then you can relax and you don't need to work. The Bible said that God looked at him and said, you are a fool and your soul will be required of you this night. You will die this night. Jesus said that is how it is for any man that is rich on earth and is not rich before the eyes of God. So my prayer for you always is that may you not become so poor that all you have is money.